Hello and welcome to 2020. It's time for a fresh start. If you're looking to build a new website, I would love to show you how to do that. So in the next 3 segments, we're going to build a website together for an online business. In the first segment, we're going to talk about the base of WordPress. In the second one, we'll actually make the website. And in the third one, we're going to be focusing on all the things to make that website successful. So in this first segment, we're going to be using a tool called Local by Flywheel, and that will enable us to actually build a test website on our own computer system. Hi, my name is Suzy Webb, and I'm here to teach you about learning how to use WordPress. Okay, so we'll build our base on Local by Flywheel, and then the other 2 things that we're going to be doing that's of course really important is we'll be installing a theme, and I use the Astra theme because it's very lightweight and allows for the website to be speedy. And then we're going to be using Elementor, and I use Elementor Page Builder because it really accelerates the design ability. So let's go ahead and jump in and follow me along as we do this together. Here we are on our fresh start, and this is the base of WordPress. This is a brand new installation. It's always a really exciting, it's like getting a new coloring book and a box of crayons for Christmas. So let me just explain a little bit what you're seeing here in case you are brand new to WordPress. Up here on the top, this is called your toolbar, and this is where you can go to the front end of the website, and you can see some other new things. And this area will get a little busier as we start building some new pieces into the website. And now here on the left, this is called your dashboard. And if you think about a pilot and all of the different things that they can view on their dashboard, this is sort of what's going to happen. So we'll have most things on the left, and a few will be at the top. Okay, so posts are, I'm sure you've read a lot of blogs, and they are these scrolling posts or little articles that people write. And there's a lot of different kinds of blogs and websites out there, and I'm sure that you recognize a lot of them when you see them, but you may not know they're created by WordPress. And most WordPress accounts for almost 40% of all the websites out there, which is quite a lot when you think about how many websites are online. Now, some of the ones that are very popular are a minimal design. So here's an example of one that I built for a restaurant. Very minimal. They didn't want a lot of information. It's more of just an information kind of online brochure almost. And then of course there's other more popular ones, such as this radio site one that has almost close to 1,000 posts now. So those are those lovely little articles that I just mentioned. Or maybe you're looking to build a website for a life coach. Here's an example of a very popular one that's for spiritual life coach, I guess you could call them. And they have a huge video library, over 500 videos on this particular website. So that why I'm showing you this is just there's a lot you can do with WordPress. So let's carry on and go back to our own dashboard and have a look at some of the more features and tools. So media, this is where you're going to load in photographs and images that we'll use. And we'll be doing this together, but I'll just give you a really quick overview. Pages, this is where of course you would have your home page. This comes in with WordPress right out of the box. We won't need that one. We'll keep that one though. Comments, this is well, obviously people would be putting comments if they read your blog. And we'll get rid of that. We won't be needing that because we only want real ones. Appearance, this is where the themes go. And a theme is really the thing that sets your global features. If you think of a car, for example, the theme would be the engine. I guess the WordPress itself, the website would be the vehicle. The theme is the engine. And then the Elementor page block, that's all the different pieces that go into the car, like the tires and the wheels and all of those things. But this would be, our main engine right here. Now, I tend to like to build sites that are very lean, meaning not to put a lot of extra functions on it. So I know I'm not going to be using this theme, so I could just open it up and delete it, because I wouldn't be putting that on. Same as this one. But it's always good to have at least one other one. So if something goes wrong, and you can go back to a default one, they call it. So we'll leave these two here for now, but we'll probably be deleting one later. Customizer, and this again, I'm just giving you a little overview. This is where a lot of the title and just another WordPress subtitle, you can see it down here. But we'll be going through all of that as we build the site out. And then, of course, the plugins are where all the really extra functions will be loaded in, and we'll get to that in a minute. The user area, well, this is where, somebody's on the website. So this could be if you're going to be building it yourself. And this is also where somebody would be, if they're a new student or subscriber, once we get into more of those tools. Okay, and then tools, settings, these are, again, where we saw some of that already. But let's not focus on that. Let's just get in here and get that theme in here. So we go to themes, and we want to add a new one. Okay, and all the things that I'm going to be bringing in today are free. So here we go. Let's load in Astra. Just ask them to look for it. And here it is here, Astra theme, right? We want to install that. So we're just going to install that. Simple as that. Activate it so that now it's the theme that's on the website. Just a little extra reading material there for you. And as I said, I'll take this one out. Okay, so the theme's in there. That's great. And then now we're going to want to put in the page builder. And we know that's called Elementor. Okay. Here we go. Elementor, we're going to install that. Activate. Welcome to Elementor. You could take some time to watch that if you wanted. I'm pretty familiar, so I don't need to do that. Okay, so now let's just have a little look here. Okay, obviously there's not much to see here. It's just the start of nothing in particular. Now, one of the interesting things about Astra is, and this is where we're going to save a lot of time, we're going to add another new plugin. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to add in the Astra. We've got Astra in there, but now we're looking for Astra starter sites. And it goes for Elementor, Beaver Builder, and the Gutenberg, but we only care about the Elementor. So we're going to install this, and this will be exciting. Alright, so the Astra sites. So now let's go here to Astra options. You know that your theme's always in the Astra, under the appearance. And we're going to go here where it says Astra starter sites. And we work with Elementor. So it's going to pull up all the sites that are available that use the Elementor page builder. And it's pretty amazing when you look at it. It's all these ready-made websites. It's I mean, I've been building websites now for 13 years, and I can't believe how much easier it is now. So what we're going to do now, some of these say agency, and that's for the higher level of the Astra Pro, but we're not going to use Astra Pro in this demonstration. So, but all these other ones are available without the for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a little business here. We're going to use this pet. So we're going to make a dog walking, pet sitting website, because that's something that, you know, most people could do if they like animals, of course. So here we have, you see on the left, the interesting thing that Astra does is it pulls everything in together that is needed for this website. So it installs the required plugins that are needed in all the settings, and there's some dummy content, and brings in different widgets. Okay, so we're going to say, yeah, sure, we're going to just take that whole site. Right, so it's now going to be loading it all in. You can see down here and up there, it's letting you know the progress it's making. And then here, over here, it tells you exactly what they're importing. And now the good thing about making this kind of website for this kind of business is you really don't need to have a lot of experience other than having you know, a fondness for animals. So if you're looking for maybe a post-retirement job, that kind of thing would be a good choice. So then now we can say it's done. So let's have a look at the website. Okay, so I know it's not showing you maybe what you saw there, but it is all in. There we go. Who we are. See, it's got all this content all in there already. And we can just change the images and the content, which is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so, wow, it's pretty cool the way it does that for you. All right. But now we need to do a couple of more things before, and you can see it's installed some other plugins that it required. So let's have a look at what it installed. All right, so it brought in the Ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg and the WP Forms Lite. And this would be like for a contact page to make fill in and send us an email type form. Now what I'm going to do now is pull in a few of the base plugins that I use to keep everything going together nicely. Okay, and this is for spam. We don't like spam, so I'm just going to install that, and I'll do this later because it's something that I can't do right now, but I like to have it in there, and I'll activate it when I can, once I get the number. So the next thing that I do is I bring in Central Color Palette, and I do this because this will save us time once we install particular colors that we're going to work with. Okay, so that's in it, and we'll show you how to use that in a little bit. And then the next one that I use is WP Roll Back. And, oops. There we go, WP Rollback. Now the reason I use this tool is because sometimes when a theme or a plugin, another plugin does an update, it might cause a conflict with another one, so it's important to roll it back. until things are in place that they'll start working together. That's just kind of a shortcut tool there. Now the other thing that I use is the classic editor. Oops. And what the classic editor is, this is basically, I guess, the blog posting internal page. And okay, ultimate answer. Yeah, I don't really want to use this Gutenberg. I prefer the classic editor. Okay, so then when I'm going to classic editor, allow people to use switch, no, change that. And I'll just show you the front end of what that looks like. So these are all the, the dummy content that the starter site brought in. So if this is how a blog post would look, and this would be the blog, let's have a look. You can see the back end here. And you can see just by the screen, like this is the classic editor. So you can, basically type things. And if you wanted to bold something, you could do that. If you wanted to italicize, you could just do that. Whereas the Gutenberg is a bunch of blocks. But because we're going to do most of our styling in Elementor, which is a page building block system, it doesn't make sense to me to have the both in there. And this is where you would put your feature image. So if we were to say update this pretend blog post and have a look, this is how it would look on the front of the website, right? But we'll be restyling things as we move forward. Okay, so where were we? So we've got classic editor, and one other one I thought I would share with you is happy add-ons. And this is works with the Elementor, and again, it just really gives you some nice, really ready-made tools that will make some things pretty fun for you to work with. But we'll just stick with the free version for now. These are kind of widgets. This is not going to mean too much to you at the moment till we get to know what we're doing. All right, so that's all the plugins that we're going to be using. And now, if we were to go, for example, to our pages, you can see they've brought in some in already. So, and now you'll notice now things are saying edit with Elementor. So that's kind of new, right? This one doesn't, and I'll explain that as we go along. But that's a blog page as opposed to these are pages. And the blog is the post system. So pages differ from blogs. Now a page is like a static page that usually doesn't change, whereas a blog post is something that's, you might want to make one every week. So then that sort of changes a lot. So let's go in here and look at Elementor. And now what it will do now is it's going to load in the Elementor tools. Okay, and you're seeing here, these are the Elementor widgets. Okay, and these are all the different tools, and we'll just take a real quick look for now. These are the most basic ones, and some general ones, tabs, and maybe you want to bring in a SoundCloud file. And then these are the happy add-ons that we'll go through some of those to kind of jazz things up a little bit. And header, footer, blocks. Okay, that's kind of cool. Didn't know that. Okay. All right, so you can see here the way that the Elementor works. It's really cool. Now, the section up here, when you see these dots. This is called a section. And if you think about, you know, working with Legos, the section, and then you would have little components within the section. So you can see this is a section, but then down here, this is a smaller section within a section. And you know it's a subsection because it doesn't have the plus sign. And then within there, within these sections, you're going to have the various widgets. These are the words, things like that. And this picture of the dog, this is coming in the background of the section. So if we go to, first I need to go over here. This area here, all right, these are all your widgets, and these widgets are the little things that do all the different little functions. And they're basically elements, I guess. You know, that's why they call it Elementor. So we call them Elementor widgets. And this button up here, this brings you back to this toolbar here. Don't worry about that for now. And this will take you to the tools of the Elementor panel. And we could put in colors and things here, but we're not, because we're going to show you another way to do that. Now, what I'm looking for here is preferences, because this has a little tool called handles. Now, not everybody needs this, but I need this because of my disability. I can't I right click with my mouse very easily. So what this does is now it gives little handles. You see that? So I can just not worry about right clicking and just go copy or delete. Whereas if I turn that off and go back, I have to right click. So this makes it really easy for me. It might make it easier for you too. So I'm going to update that. It's always good to click update whenever you've made a change. Go back here. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the section. Yeah, I got that. So I don't need that, thanks. So now when I clicked on the section, you see it brought in, it moved this toolbar to match what area you're in. So now we have the layout, okay? And you're going to see these three things are consistent on every single kind of element that you will click on. The layout of it, the style, this is where you would change the image and all the color components. And then the advanced is things for like the margins, positioning, padding. Like you can see there's, it says 250, so there's 250 pixels before this area starts. And then there'll be some space down here, 150 here. So that's what that means. Okay, so then now you can see, if we go back, it's in the boxed area. And the columns are all on default. Style, we can see that it's got the dog in here, this picture, which we kind of like. So we'll keep that there. And it's on scroll, no repeat. We're kind of happy with that, so we won't worry about changing that. But we would change, for example, this text, because we're not in New York City. So we might say pet care. It's not going to be pet care, it's going to be pet sitting in Lindsay. No, I don't know if Lindsay needs a pet sitting. Oops. But just in case. And so we're going to change some of this text. You can see here when you click on the pencil, this is the edit. And you can see it's telling you here, this is the title. Now some people type over here, but I find that it's a bit safer to do it over here. And I don't know why, it's just my preference. So we provide pet sitting services. Something like that. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure I would put a phone number. I might say contact us today. Creates emergency. Okay. And we would be happy to talk with you about your pet sitting needs. Something like that. And then I probably would put a button in here because, you know, it's up here we need a button so they could, you know, oops, new icon library. Hope this doesn't mess things up. Once you do this once, it's fine, but hopefully, yeah, it took away the things that we made, changes we made. Well, it's just the way these things go. Okay, we'll leave it like that. We're going to update there. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at this page and basically filling it out. Okay, but basically this is just the start of the Elementor. And so I'm going to go back to the dashboard for now. And this kind of what I want to let you know is now basically, no, we don't want to do that. You get a lot of extra little things that you can dismiss. We'll keep some of this for now. But now you can see there's already been some new things added here, right? And if you looked in the media library, you're going to now see a whole bunch of photos that weren't there before, because this all came in with the starter site that Elementor put in there for us. WP Forms, this is going to be your email system or your contact page, forms, and so we'll go through that. There's one made there now, I think. It's probably set up, yeah. And here you can see, what is your name, so that's what's going to be on the contact page at the moment. And we're going to go through that to make that exactly how you would like it to be. Okay, and then these are the Elementor settings. This is one thing I wanted to do. Post types. This is all fine. Okay, and this is just a space between the widgets. You don't really need to change anything in here. I sometimes just like to go through and do a fresh saving, because then that helps to flush things to keep it all fresh. And these are the templates. And I'm going to explain that in just a bit, okay? Because that's going to be how we're going to be dealing with the pro level of Elementor. And that's the only other thing that I'm going to be bringing in that's going to be an extra cost to the free system, because the pro level allows you to work with the templates in a really, really interesting way. That's a real time saver. So then you can see here we've got a couple of new things here. Header footer builder that came with the starter site. And again, we're going to change that once we get into the template. And then the plugins, now we already saw those. I think I'll delete that because I'm not going to be using that. It's always good to not keep things that you're not going to use. Tools, this is all fine. Settings, general, this is fine. We're going to change this though to pet sitting in Lindsay for now. Okay, save that. Oh, I guess we don't want that. We care about your pet. There we go. And reading. This is where, you know, what page do you want the actual home page to land on? So you can see here it says home page, and we're going to put home because that's what we would like the viewer to land on first. The latest post, that's if you were to just have a running blog. And the other thing is that it's always good to set your permalinks. And this just means this is how it's going to be read on the website. So it would be, for us, it's going to be pet sitting and then whatever the name of the page or post is. And I'm just going to save that because saving that kind of flushes it and lets it start from fresh. Okay, so that's what the back end of the website looks like. And we're going to come back in the next video to finish this all up to make it exactly how we would like it to be. But we're off to a good start. As they say, we're off to the races. And the Astra starter site really makes that easy for us. So we're going to continue with that in the next segment and really learn how to use the page builder to make it into a really lovely site. Okay, so we learned a little bit. We got the base down for our website. And in the next video, in the next segment, we'll be fleshing out and making that website really sing. So watch the next video and move along as you learn how to create your first WordPress website. And remember, if you like this video, please like it below and subscribe to this brand new sparkling clean fresh start channel. I'm Suzy Webb, and I'll look forward to meeting with you again in the next video.